These are my favorite TV episodes of the year so far. I obviously have to mention The Boys Season 4 finale. This was an absolutely insane episode that was just one of the most perfect endings to a season you could possibly ask for. Every single minute of this episode was just absolute insanity. You got all the classic Homelander craziness that you could ever ask for. We got shocking deaths, insane reveals, great setups for the next season. Even a lot of characters like Starlight that I felt like had really weak season 4s overall had a lot of really great moments and stuff to do in this episode. It was really just insane. I could not believe how good it was when I was watching it. While I'm on the topic of The Boys, I gotta give credit to another episode of the show, because episode 4 I also thought was a perfect episode of television, because obviously we got the insanity of Homelander going back to his quote-unquote home and just losing it on all of those people. And even though the Homelander stuff is pretty much all everybody remembers from this episode, we also got a lot of other great moments, like Huey going to get the Compound V for his dad, A-Train helping him get that, and him making that decision of does he use the Compound V or not. We also got a lot of great moments with Frenchie and Colin's storyline and a lot more of the darkness behind that story. The first season of X-Men 97 was absolutely incredible, but I think Remember It, which was episode 5 of the show, was easily the best one. Everything that happened in this episode was absolutely incredible, but the real standout moment was obviously Gambit's big moment at the end of the episode. I was literally jumping out of my chair watching this just because of how much peak it was. Another absolutely incredible episode 5 was House of the Dragon episode 5, the Red Dragon and the Gold. This episode truly matched some of the peaks of Game of Thrones. It gave us that perfect balance between great political and palace intrigue in the beginning and then building up to that giant fight scene at the end with the dragons. It was insane. I was actually getting chills watching this fight scene just brew the entire episode, and then finally seeing just the carnage of these dragons. Obviously Aemon just being a little mischievous little guy, Bernice knowing she's outmatched and just showing no fear whatsoever, going back into the battle with her dragon was just so badass to watch. One of the best episodes of the year easily. By the way, this is in no order, just a bunch of episodes I really like. I gotta give Fallout some credit on this list too, because this honestly is one of my favorite TV shows of the entire year. I thought the season final was absolutely incredible. We finally get to learn everything that was happening the entire show. It was a perfect payoff to all the setup of the previous 7 episodes. Every character just had incredible moments. Everything between Lucy and her dad was just great to watch. Maximus had great moments. The Ghoul is just as badass as ever. It was truly the perfect balance between being a good conclusive ending, but also setting up enough things to keep you excited for season 2. I loved it. But I also want to give credit to episode 6 of Fallout. This is where we learned about Cooper's life before all the nukes went off, obviously, and he became the Ghoul. So much of the things we learned in this episode is what makes the payoff in the final episode hit so hard. I also got to learn a lot more about the intrigue of the vaults, and hey, everything's not what it seems. There's a lot more sinister stuff and cult-like actions going on down here. Everything is not what you think. It was incredible to watch. Invincible season 2 definitely had some room for improvement. It was still a very good season overall, but I feel like there was some down points, but the season final was not one of those in my opinions. I loved episode 8. I just loved all the character moments we got from Mark in this, seeing him lose control on Angstrom within like the first 20 minutes of the episode and then just dealing with that for the rest of it. I thought was a beautiful decision to make. The episode also had a lot of really fun and unique moments with the multiverse, which is something we've been kind of getting tired of because it's been in every superhero project lately, but the way Angstrom was using it in the fight scene was really creative. My only beef with the episode is that Mark at the end did not confess his feelings to Eve when they were sitting here. Like, it was the perfect moment, but I've learned to be okay with it, and I'm ready for the slow burn because we know it's going to happen eventually. The Hashira training arc of Demon Slayer was painfully slow at moments and just kind of classic training arc kind of filler stuff for a lot of it, but it was so worth it to get to episode 8, the Hashira Unite. This is easily one of the greatest episodes I've watched in the last couple of years, honestly. The animation is just absolutely jaw-dropping. I mean, we know the show has incredible animation anyways, but this episode was just another level of incredible. And that combined with the amazing original score that was happening throughout this entire episode truly made this feel just cinematic instead of watching an episode of TV. Muzan might have the most aura out of any TV character this year. He is just absolutely insane in this entire episode. So badass, and I cannot wait for the Infinity Castle arc. Even if you're not someone that likes anime, I recommend watching just this episode, and I guarantee you it will win you over. Speaking of anime, I want to give credit to a way lesser known show. It's just airing now. I've only seen the first 2 episodes of Wisteria Wand and Sword, but they absolutely blew my mind. Because if you're a huge Harry Potter fan like me, I heavily recommend watching this show. It takes place at a magical school that's very similar to Hogwarts, but our main character Will is the only person at the school that can't use magic. It's still early on, but it's really recaptured my original love I had for Harry Potter as a kid so far. I'm looking forward to the rest of it. I'm gonna give credit to Shogun episode 9. It's called Crimson Sky. I can't really go into a lot of the details of the show without spoiling it, and I know a lot of people out there have not watched this yet. So all I'm gonna say is just definitely do yourself a favor and watch Shogun. It's on Hulu and Disney Plus. It's incredible. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite TV episode of the year so far?